Hello, good evening, Lee Bishop.
Stacy, baby Stace,
How are you doing?
chilling like a villain, I'm chilling in the galaxy out here, what I'm saying, in space. And
Yeah, it's probably much better there than it is here on Earth in this particular moment, just because of all the things that are challenging us Americans.
yeah, it's very quiet up here.
Okay, exactly. Man, so I have a question for you.
Hit me.
Are artists role models?
Say what?
What do you think? Are artists like, musicians and celebrities and are they role models in your eyes?
I think they're role models with yes, I do. I do think they're role models without even trying, without even doing anything on purpose. I think a lot of kids, and I can relate, emulate their favorite artists. I know I went from Brand Nubian trying to be a 5%er to NWA trying to be up in these streets, and then being like MC Hammer and trying to be a dancer, and then being like the Candyman and AMG and trying to be pimps out here. You know what I'm saying? So I
Right.
I think as a kid. And out in the streets and hanging with your friends, they these especially rappers definitely are role models, and then the R&B singers are the guys who teach you how to talk to women.
Get
You know what I
that
mean?
girl.
Yeah,
How to
get that
sex
girl.
that girl.
Absolutely, talk how to talk to them, how to be up in their feelings and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So they definitely are role models. I hate the ones who say, I'm not here to be a role model, blah blah blah. But
Right.
once you get in that social media uh, atmosphere and that spotlight, you automatically become that, because I've seen. I mean, Kanye changed the way we dress. Punk rockers changed the way we dress. People in like some rural town, discover punk music and then start dressing like what they see on TV. What I'm saying, with the Ramones and yeah,
Right.
Sex Pistols and stuff. So it's definitely, whether it's attitude, lifestyle, or fashion, artists are music artists especially are definitely role models.
Yeah, I bring it up.
Unfortunately, they do it's automatically, because unfortunately they don't want to be, and you got kids who the minds are ripe for the picking and everything, and they're looking for guidance. And unfortunately, they just automatically become that, whether they do stupid shit or good
Yeah,
stuff. It doesn't matter.
I know, because it's kind of weird. Like, I don't know. I remember the saying, like, does art imitate life or does life imitate art? And I mean, it's just like, are we getting our habits and our lifestyles from what we see from artists and celebrities?
100%.
Or 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 is it already in the streets and
Yeah,
artists are taking that and
it's both.
and highlighting it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
both. There's no limit. It's both. I know artists who weren't gangsters, but were gangsters on wax. And I know gangsters who become rappers on wax. You know what I mean? So it's definitely both. It just depends on the artist.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think, like, how does it happen? Like, is it easy to generalize each one, or is like one person, a true artist who people want to emulate, or it's these like people who are like seeking fame that are imitating what they see. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like that. For me, like, some people aren't. I don't see some people as true artists. Like, they're just out here to get a check, or just to be famous. Like, I don't think they're original, but some artists are original. So maybe that's where the lines are drawn. I don't really know. I'm not totally sure. I'm just always trying to figure that out. But I brought this up because I watched the latest video by Joyner Lucas, He's super, you know who he is, right?
Yes.
He's like a hip hop guy. He's very, I
He's
mean,
like a hip hop guy. He's a hip hop guy.
yeah, yeah, he's a hip hop guy, but he's very, he always is trying to bring awareness, which is, what hip hop is all about. You're right.
Yeah, he has substance in his rap. He's not just talking about bullshit.
Yeah, like he's always had made a point since his first video, like I'm not racist, where they had the dialogue between, I think it was a white police officer and a black man, and they were having a great dialogue of why they are like, that whole, I
Yeah.
don't know, I think it was before the whole George Floyd thing, or it was in that era. And
I think it was before, but it was after the Trayvon thing.
yeah, okay, yeah.
Kind of sparked everything.
So, that's just who he is. He's very, controversial, making people look at themselves. And his latest video, Dreams Untold, is ridiculous. Like, I mean, I love it. I think it's great, but that's just who he is. But it's ridiculous that they're trying to censor him, or they actually censored him. The video's gone. They took the video
Oh
off.
no, what happened? Oh, they took it off.
Yeah, they took the video off. It's called Dreams Untold.
It's funny how they do that, like on a positive, on a song trying to have a message, but they'll keep like WAP up there, or they'll
Yeah.
keep like all the negative images, like a Chief Keef or something, like with young brothers with their shirts off with guns in your faces, but they'll take
Yeah.
take down Lucas.
But
It's
I think,
ridiculous.
yeah, like it's what's in the video is basically what every single mainstream rap, not every single, but majority of the rap top billboard charting guys, that's what they're doing. That's what they're talking about. Because like in the video, he's making it very plain. Like he starts the video off saying, don't let your kids watch this off top. That's the very first screen. But then once you start watching it, because he's showing us adults what we're doing, what we're portraying to, the kids. And I mean, he's literally like having kids doing drugs, buying sacks, and like just hecka crazy.
Watching twerking videos and stuff like that.
Yes, like it is little kids in the video actually watching it. So, I mean, that is pretty extreme because it's like, well, I'm sure their parents okayed those particular kids to be in the video to watch it. But I mean, right now there's a lot of like child porn and like it's not child neglect, but I can't think of what they call it.
Well,
right now.
the way they're editing it, they're probably not even watching it for real. They're just reacting to like a blank laptop. That's,
Good
you know what I
point.
mean? Like they're showing you what they're supposed to be watching,
Yeah.
which is the whole point. But on the real side, they're not. They're just watching like a blue
little,
screen or something and
I
just
hope
reacting
so.
to it.
Yeah, because I was like, dang, even the kids in the video, I was like, that's kind of tough for them to watch.
Yeah, because they never showed them. I don't think they ever showed them like watching it, unless it. And if they did, they could put they could composite the image on the laptop.
See, that's why I fucks with you. You always thinking. Like that never even crossed my mind because I was just like, dang, okay, well, they're letting these little kids watch this.
Yeah, I don't think he would do that. It's like, when it's like in the movies, like, like in Menace when little old, it's not older, but Kane, his father figure gave him like a drink of beer. It's probably apple juice.
Right.
For the movie. But
yeah.
Yeah, so it's something like that, you know what I'm saying? So it's funny. YouTube is so backwards, man. It's so Jonah gave his own parental advisory on the video before it started. It's like the most positive not self-aware, but like aware, what do you call it? Socially aware video, and they take it down. That's crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, it was to me, I think this is what I was leading to, is like, he just made it way too plain. Like, he just showed us exactly what we are doing to our children, to our youth. And I think it was just too in the face for some of these like record labels or whoever is responsible for censoring, YouTube people or whatever. But like you said, the WAP videos, I mean, and the Megan Thee Stallion videos, like, it's all
BET
super,
Award.
yeah, it's super sexual. Yeah, it's super sexual. I mean, a lot of the top songs are talking about freaking drinking lean and, maybe I haven't
Shooting
really
each
heard.
other, shooting black people. That's all.
Yeah,
There's an agenda. I really believe there's an agenda to have, especially our young black youth, kill each other or go to jail or go to prison, and really be unaware of their actions by doing like over sexualizing and trying to get push this capitalism to our kids, and live this like fast life and fast money life. I really do think there's an agenda uh, for us. They let a few of us in the industry, the machine, show us how they should be acting, and then they emulate that, right? And then, but some of them aren't that talented or won't make it, so they either die trying or die trying to get the buck or go to prison trying to get the buck. And it's all about the money. And I really do think the mass, I don't know who they are. I don't want to say, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Because we might get kicked off of YouTube, but it's the overseers.
yeah. Like, I mean,
Overseers, over the officer.
yeah. And I mean, I agree, but that's kind of where the whole role model thing comes into play. Like, yeah, there's gatekeepers and they do only allow certain things. But no, if the people wanted more like Talib Kweli or like some Most Def, if the people ran those numbers up, then that would probably be what the gatekeepers are pushing. But
Well, this is
people don't want that. People don't want that. So is it a gatekeeper or is it a back to
yes.
a personal, like the individual?
Here's the thing. In my generation, when I was a kid, we had our pop music or our hip hop on the radio. There was a mix. You had Hammer, Candyman. You had, but then
Yeah,
you
the
had,
flashy.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, and then later you had even like the New York stuff. You had Biggie, but then you had Arrested Development. You had PM Don, who were on the radio, and then you had Public Enemy, who was on the radio, and then you had NWA, who had a radio-friendly songs. So you still had gangster rap on the radio, but you also had a mix, and
But
every
people
and
gravitate towards that more. That's what I'm saying. Like
no,
people
well, that's
gravitate
what
to people,
I
the
hear.
numbers. Go ahead, go ahead. Sorry.
I hear what you're saying, and I get that. But my thing is, this is what I was saying about the overseers, the people who are in play, like you said, the gatekeepers. They can easily play Talib Kweli. They can easily play
But the
all
people don't
these.
want it.
That's not true. I don't believe that.
Not
These.
majority of the people, not the masses. The masses are
Yes.
not backpack, you know what I'm saying? Like
No, I get that. Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm
people don't
saying.
want that.
Arrested Development was not a backpack group. Arrested Development just had good songs. Mr. Window, Tennessee. Revolution.
Socially aware songs though.
Exactly. But
People don't
those.
want that.
Well, hold on though.
They don't.
The radio back then, all they kept pushing it, play the songs, they play the songs, and people would just listen to it because I think the more masses are dumbed down, they'll listen to whatever is playing on the radio, whatever is playing on Sirius, whatever is playing on Spotify. They'll listen to it. If let's say the bass line now, or the bass line, the bass drop now is trap, right? Let's say you have more Lupe, you have more Kendrick, you have more, Kyle, Drake or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Maybe less Drake. You know what I'm saying?
No, never.
If you, like, even with J. Cole pushing the positive narrative, if you have that backdrop and then a positive message and you keep playing that song, those songs, then they'll eventually hit. uh you know People are more people are dumb, to just put it frank. They're dumb. You keep spoon feeding them, they'll eventually be like, oh, you know what, I actually like this Talib Kweli song, even though he's not talking about guns and blah blah blah. I actually like this song because it's actually a good song. But in real life you probably wouldn't listen to it because it's not in your wheelhouse of music. But once, if it keeps playing and you keep listening to the radio, you eventually like it. There's some songs that I've never thought I liked, And I was like, man, I actually it's actually a good song. I can't fight it. It's a good song. You know what I'm saying? It's just in the beginning I'm hating on it because it's not my cup of tea, or I don't like the artist or something like that. I have to be like, I have to conceive like this is actually a good song because they kept playing the dang song. I think the radio stations and all that stuff, they keep playing these songs and it keeps going to it. Nowadays, all they're pushing are the negative songs, right? All the nigga songs. So that's why it gets popular because they're like, oh, okay, they're pushing this song. It's catchy. They're talking about it's more like the beat first, then lyrics. Now, it's like beat, chorus, lyrics. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And
well,
then
clearly they're not listening to the lyrics because it's all mumble. Oh, well, there was a period where it was all mumble rap. So they ain't listening to the lyrics. You can't recite at concerts.
yeah,
But I hear you. But
but now they're talking, but the whole time with the mumble and all that, the whole time they're just talking about guns and it's all
yeah,
nigga rap, right?
right.
So and everybody listens to it. White people, Indians, Asians, they love it. But the radio stations are force feeding just that music alone, and that music is our downfall, unfortunately, and that's what's hitting right,
Absolutely.
and that's
Yeah,
what's hitting right now because they keep playing the songs. Like
right.
the best example to me is Chief Keef because him and I think King Los just started this whole drill and trap stuff, right? So Chief Keef got picked up by Def Jam and they never A&R'd him. They never gave him any like counseling or any
Development,
direction. There you go. Yeah, A&R artist,
artists and repertoire.
or yeah, or artist development, like you said. And they let him go on these interviews, and he just looked dumb because he didn't know what to say. But he was young, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? And all he knew was the streets, and
But people like that raw
he's
street, like, you know,
right. But look, yeah. So he became not only like a role model, but he became like the poster child of kind of like this start of this trap stuff, right? Where this is the acts that they're going to put on, and they have nothing intellectual to say during the interviews. They're bland, you know what I'm saying? It's they have a negative image. People around him were dying in the streets or whatever. Whether he was a part of it or not. His music, uh,
but it's what the kids
was the
want
same
though.
thing.
But it's what
It's
the
not.
kids,
It's
it
not.
is. It really
Mm,
is though.
mm,
We'll keep talking this out, but I'm sorry, the kids gravitate towards negativity. People gravitate towards negativity. I mean, you could post like something like, "Oh, have a great day, good morning."
mhm,
No, nobody will say nothing. You post
mhm.
like some corny, negative, like gossipy, crazy stuff. A lot of people are going to engage.
I agree.
So
I agree with you.
but so that's like with music, like people gravitate towards, I don't know, more things that don't make you think, I guess
I
I would say.
I I I
You're
think
probably
people.
different though. You're coming from a different reference point because you've always loved just like good music. You don't like the hood trap stuff. I mean, you kind of maybe change a little bit now, but you don't really mess with that, you know?
Well,
But
because it's
you're
it's
in a different
religion.
world. You're in a different world.
But I okay. I am. I
Yeah,
am.
you totally are.
But also
Right.
I agree with what you're saying. But I also do think that
There's gatekeepers.
yes, and they put those specific songs in place
But
for our
I still,
for our
I have,
young people to go to what do you call it, travel to that path because they keep pushing that music. It's like drugs. They keep pushing it. It's constant, and then they make the beat simple and the chorus catchy, and that's the
right.
easiest form of music. Like there's studies of how like music can like shape like waves and stuff like that, and
Yeah, that hurts. And
yeah,
yeah,
like music can shape the way somebody thinks and dumbs them down, or music is very emotional.
yeah,
And
exactly.
yeah, so once you have the music and you add visuals, then yes, they'll emulate that, and they feel like that's all they need to hear. I know there's black people who won't listen to anything but trap, and it's like there's other stuff
Yeah,
out
that's
there. Like
doing
you
something to
never,
your brain. That's
yeah,
definitely doing something
never
to
heard of Erica, never heard of Jill, won't listen to Talib or Mos or whatever. You know what I mean? Like they just think this is black music, and that's wrong. But
right.
this is how the gatekeepers want them to be. They want them to
But
be
but
dumbed down.
but if the artist didn't make this kind of music, say Migos turns into a gospel rap group. You know what I'm saying? People aren't going to listen to Migos probably.
We don't know
Like,
that.
but I mean, I
Look
don't
at
know that.
Jesus Walks. Look at Jesus Walks. Kanye created a song about Jesus,
It was probably
and
the
and
beat though, the
and the
production.
beat wasn't trap, and he was talking about what he believed in, and it's a hit. If the Migos did the same
Jesus
thing and
walks
it didn't
with me,
matter,
with me, with me.
you know,
Sorry.
because the Migos actually do have a little bit of skills, but
Yeah.
if they came out with a gospel album, it would hit.
No, people would not listen to it. People don't want to hear
I
that.
disagree.
People don't want to hear that.
I
Like I
disagree.
think that's just my point. My point
Yeah,
is that
absolutely.
if artists stop making that kind of music
Hmm.
because they are role models, if they
Yes.
stop making that kind of music, people wouldn't probably it would change the whole culture of everything. It would change hip hop culture. It would change life. It would if the music is so influential and so
Hmm.
powerful. Because like we're currently like I hate when artists say they are not role models because we're living in an influential era. Like this is all influencers is the like the coined phrase right now. Oh, you're an influencer. Like because they know how powerful like being able to lead and influence people is like especially if you have the following, period.
100%.
you know so these artists are role models, and if they change, they have the power to change the world. I feel like artists have more power to change like daily life versus a president or a state official or whatever. That's why Kanye, it wasn't so far-fetched for him to run for president, because if he had all his followers and all Kim Kardashian's followers to vote for him, dude, he would have won the election. Because I think like not, it was like 100 million people, actually maybe like 120 million, whatever, people that actually voted in the election in 2020. So combining both of their numbers, they have millions of followers. They could have won.
But
They like
but but look what happened though. Like as much clout as Kanye has, people knew that they didn't want this guy to be president. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So the audience, you
But if
know,
he wasn't
it was
crazy, if he didn't go
is
crazy, he could have if he would have played that role and was like, and not crazy
oh,
Kanye,
absolutely, absolutely. No, that's
he
that's
could
all on
have
him.
won.
Yes,
He could have won.
absolutely.
He could have
But,
won.
but what I'm saying is the people know when people are coherent or not. And when Kanye is pissing on Grammys and stuff like that, they know that they don't want this guy as a president. Now,
But
everybody's
Trump
saying,
won.
but we didn't know how bad he was going to be.
I
But
knew
yeah,
how bad.
if you like you said, like if Kanye played normal and wasn't
Yeah.
bipolar and he was okay, took his meds and whatnot, and
Right.
kind of presented himself like Obama did, I think for sure he might have gotten close or even had one.
Yeah.
We'll never know. But I disagree with the fact that even though he has an audience in the music side, I think more people were like, Kanye needs to stick to music. Like he's not what do you call it? He's not in the politics.
Yeah. No, and
Like how he's laying.
this is one thing I hear too a lot, is that when like Cardi B, like when she's very vocal about what's going on in the world and political, people will say, oh, why are you doing, or telling like LeBron, just shut up and dribble, like don't get involved. Like I feel like that's so wrong. Like how are you going to tell an artist they can't speak out on politics or on issues that matter? Just
Well,
freaking make music and shut up. Just dribble the
yeah.
basketball and shut up. Like how, I don't even understand how that's possible.
Well, those kind of people, or what's that right wing? Uh, and
But
they don't agree.
even kids, I see a lot of kids saying that too, though. Like,
They just
just
don't. Well, if it's kids, they're getting influenced by their old elders, right? That's
mm,
they right. I mean, what if when you say kids, I'm thinking elementary,
oh,
saying maybe junior high, right?
yeah.
What do you?
I'm just saying people younger than us, because
Oh, okay. Well, if it's a junior high, elementary kid saying that, then now that's their elders. If it's
young adults are
20-year olds
still.
and stuff like that, okay, then that's their echo chamber. They probably hear something that they heard from somebody on Fox, Fox News or something. But it's more like a lot of it's right wing, right? Like right wing, people who are like, Republicans or whatever, who would tell these artists to just keep making music and shut up, or
Yeah.
keep acting and shut up, or keep dribbling and shut up, because they feel like whatever LeBron was saying and whoever, to
Is
them,
influential.
that doesn't make sense to them. So
Yeah.
that's how they say, shut up and joke,
Or
which
or
I think I
or
don't agree with, but
or they're being strategic and they know how influential a Cardi B and a LeBron James is. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one thing I
yeah,
have to get Republicans. They're strategic and they're smart. They know, should they understand behaviors of people, and they play on that.
I think both sides do. I think Republicans and Democrats are definitely evil and flawed. Democrats want to do good for society, but they hold on to what can make us prosper, because they want like because of some agenda. Republicans definitely go by it on a psychological level, but they're all about the money. They're capitalists. So it's definitely both on both sides. It's a personal gain
Yeah,
game.
but no matter what, I mean, yes, we're divided basically in two classes, or maybe three if you want to consider independence, which is trying to emerge. But no matter what kind of society you have, if you're trying to have a civil society, there is going to be people that are going to conform to one thought or another thought. There's always going to be some kind of like, people are going to like want to be in a group and be labeled. And
Yeah, people
I,
want to find their tribe. They want to try it, especially
yeah,
when you're
so
young.
right. So it's always gonna be that. It's I mean, no matter, yeah, right now we have Republicans and Democrats, and I mean that's just what we have. That's what people identify with, in making a lot of their decisions. So I don't know. I don't know. I just like us, like the whole point of this podcast is to just find that common ground, I guess, and be in the middle of, or just kind of understand what all sides of everything. Like there isn't one right way about navigating this life. But I do believe artists are role models. They are influencers, and they have a responsibility. But like I was saying earlier, a lot of artists don't want to be considered a role model, and they're like, your parents should raise you. No, I mean, like, how are we going to say, oh, the parents are responsible, and then the next breath we're going to say, oh, it takes a village to raise a child? It's like we're all responsible for, as our society, like we all have to participate and care about each other, but we're living in an era where people don't care about each other. So that's why we're
Yeah,
here.
and
That's
and
where
the
we're
and
where we're at.
and then the village, the village thing is gone now, because if a kid doesn't like the way you're talking to him, he can go to his dad and say, this guy touched me, and now this innocent guy who was yelling at this kid because he was doing wrong, he's going to go to jail because this kid, you know, accused him of touching him inappropriately. You know what I'm saying? Kids lie too. You know what I'm saying? Like people are scared now. Now everything now is even because enhanced by the pandy. People are on self missions all day now. So that village shit is out the door, and I think that's due to the Orange Man. I think it's due to negative music, and I think it's due to Democrats being stingy, Republicans being capitalists, and the pandy showed us our true colors with the hoarding and everything, and listening to politicians tell us to stock up, and the capitalism of
That was right-wing politics. Sorry.
for example, the guy on Amazon who bought up all the hand sanitizers just to sell on Amazon, and he got shut down for that. You know what I mean? Like,
He came up. Like that was
no, he
ethical.
came down because he didn't.
Yeah, no.
Amazon shut him down.
Yeah, no, that was super ethical. Like I was like, wow, there's some morals and ethics being just, like he received justice because that was wrong. Like he shouldn't have did
We
that.
we received justice because that was wrong. But yeah,
Yeah, that's what I mean.
so the pandy and even reselling items, like the rise of entrepreneur and working for yourself and social media and
Resellers market.
earlier, like you said earlier, like influencers and stuff. Everybody wants to be their own boss and stuff. All that stuff is corrupting our kids because not everybody can do that. You know what I'm saying? Not, but it's making our kids lazier because they don't want to go to school and learn.
Dude,
And
like
we got to get back to like the scholastic mind frame of our youth.
Right. I've never heard so many young kids want to be a YouTuber. Like we didn't have that option as a profession growing up. I want to be a YouTuber. You know what I'm saying? Like things change and I'm with the change and I'm down for all that. But it's just
we're using it now.
Huh?
We're using it now. This is going on.
Right. This is how it is, like you gotta get with it or you're gonna get ran over. But I've never heard like, you hear kids, oh, I want to be a veterinarian, I want to be a superstar, but now kids are like, I want to be a YouTuber. And it's like it's profitable. People are making like hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions of dollars. So I get it. But we are definitely people who want to step up and be leaders or be YouTubers. Like that's basically you're being a leader because you have subscribers, you have followers, you are a role model. Like whether you like it or not, you are a role model. So
100%.
And there's responsibilities when you're
which they don't
understand.
Which they're not coherent of until it bites them in the butt, and then something happens or whatever. Then they have to like get a lawyer to write their apology letter,
Right.
or apology tweet.
Yeah, their PR guide. Like, yeah, it's crazy. And, like, I don't know. We're just definitely like, they can't use that argument that artists and celebrities aren't role models anymore because they get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to post on their social media because they know people are going to buy that. That's where
you got a lot of people watching them too. Yeah.
Yeah, like people are getting paid to be role models. Like whether you want to be like you are a role model. Like I guess that's it.
Yeah, once you get over like 5,000 subs, then you become a role model.
Yeah,
it's got to be like a certain amount, and then after that you become a role model.
Yeah, but I mean people with
you're good.
Yeah, there's people that influence the influencers who aren't, way up there or as popular, but they're influencing people. But, like people, I don't know, people don't realize the power that they have within themselves. Whether, somebody's always watching you. And
I think some of them do because like those kids who I think last year they just tweeted they're going to throw a party at some beach, and then like 1,000 kids went to the beach and partied. I mean, I think they arrogantly do have some idea of the power they have. They're able to like sell regular Gildan hoodies and put their logo on it and charge like 50 $60 for an ordinary hoodie that just has their logo on it, or something crazy. So they're aware, especially if they have 1 million subs. You know what I'm saying? Like they're fully aware of the power they have.
Yeah, exactly. And even us when we were growing up, like it was the popular kids or the cool kids. Like those were like the influencers or the role models that everybody wanted to be around or be like or whatever. So I don't know.
I mean, back then, we also before Jackass, I was doing Jackass stuff, and then Jackass came out, and that was cool for me to watch because I was like, man, I did this when I was young, and now they're getting paid to do, to
Right.
the balls, and I'll say I kick you in the balls for free. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And do stupid tricks and skateboard stuff. So back then, I mean, Jackass is the same thing. So I say that to say, kids during that Jackass time were doing the things that they did. I mean, they had to put up that this what do you call it? What do they call it? That message before every show saying we're professionals, don't do this at home and stuff. But we were all doing it. The kids were doing that.
Yeah. They're like, oh, let me try.
Guys were those
Yeah.
guys were role models. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
Yeah.
now, and if you see now with the YouTubers, they're doing stupid stuff in public. They're dancing in public. They're taking out their shirts. They're acting like they're robbing banks or fighting in the streets, or what I'm saying. I remember it used to be bum fights and stuff, and pay the bums to fight. You know what I'm saying? So anything now, I think that came from Jackass. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, they're definitely influenced. And then those kids or these kids now who are influencers and YouTubers are influencing the kids now now it's TikTok and they're all, doing, the busted challenge or whatever.
Yeah, and
You know
but
what I'm
those
saying?
kind of people, I feel like they're influenced by people because they're kind of clout chasing. They're they want the likes. Like they're doing it for the gram. So like I don't know. I
I
just
think
kind of
it's both. It's either or. I think it's both.
like, but in that situation, I feel like the people are influencing them. So they're not
What
really
what people? What do you mean?
originators. Like just their followers, their fan base or whatever is
The YouTubers or the tick? What do you mean?
just like those people that you're talking about, like cloud
The
chasers, people who do
YouTubers.
no, just in anywhere, it's social
Oh,
media
I was talking about
period.
the YouTubers.
Yeah, whoever, YouTube, any social
Hmm.
media platform where you're doing it to impress your followers, like they're doing it
Yeah,
for the gram.
yeah.
Like so they're being influenced by they're trying to they're kind of being influenced by the by likes, like clout, like the
Well,
whole clout
yeah.
chasing thing versus the Kanyes or like the Rihannas
Well,
who
now,
who
well,
could
now
be
I don't.
themselves, who could be an originator, and people are like, oh, that's just I don't know. I'm just trying to figure this out.
Well, the
How
YouTubers, the YouTubers just have to now. Now they're just doing shows. Now they actually have a show, whether it's a podcast or them opening a new shoe box. I'm sorry, opening a new shoe, or doing like tricks, or today we're going to give a homeless person $10,000 and watch him, shop, and then, or we're going to give, Daisy the dog a makeover. They're actually doing shows. The kids and stuff who are on TikTok are uh, are doing that stuff on TikTok to get likes, to get subs. You know what I'm saying? And they're relying on their looks. They're relying on their whatever they have on. They're relying on the how funny they can be. Everybody's got some talent, right? Whether it's doing a joke or whether it's how they relying on their looks. So
yeah,
there's YouTubers and then there's like TikTokers who are just more like regular people because they don't have to buy all the equipment, right? They don't have to have like a studio. Like YouTubers actually have a studio. They're getting the mic. Like you got the mic, I got the mic. We got all these things so we could be on YouTube. TikTok and regular kids are just doing crazy shit. It's easy because it's our phone, and they could do whatever they want on the phone. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's
And I
two
think
different animals.
yeah, yeah, and those kind of people to me are kind of just in it for the fame, and they're not necessarily trying to be role models. But
Right,
then
right. And it's quick
you know what I
fame, and they
mean?
know
I
that.
guess that's what I'm just trying to get
Yeah,
out in my head is that, like some people really don't believe they're role models. They're just out here doing it for, entertaining people. But but unfortunately, people are role models. Like I don't know. People are role models. I don't care.
yeah. Bottom line, yeah. Once you get into the social media field and especially if you have like a million
Yeah.
subs, I mean, you turn into a role model I don't want to keep saying it over and over, but you are a role model,
But
and
we
you
need to. People need to understand that. And they have a responsibility. If you have a platform, you have a responsibility, whether you like it or not. And I feel like the wrong people have platforms. And that's why it's like the blind are leading the blind into a bunch of dumb, dumb stuff, you know? So I don't know. I just wish there was more people who cared about other people and cared about the youth and cared about what they were doing. And like people are watching you. You have a responsibility.
well said.
That's all I have to say.
Well said.
All right. Anything else you want to say?
No, that was it. That was a good close.
All right.
You said everything.
Well, thank you guys for checking us out.
We'll see you
Um,
next time.
yep, non-perishable goods in your face.
What? Say that again.
Non-perishable goods in your
Oh, okay.
face. I know. I was like, choke. I was choked on a perishable good. Nah. All right. Peace.